All right. All aboard and welcome to the Fox Valley Short Line Railroad. Okay. No echo now. Okay. A standard career playthrough of Derail Valley Simulator. My name is SwiftFox, and I'll be your conductor and engineer for this evening's 2-hour journey on the rails. Please have a seat, get comfortable, and have your tickets ready. This train is now departing. All right, folks, if you remember from last week, we left off arriving at Forest South. And it was early in the evening, so there wasn't a whole lot to look at. But as I mentioned at the end of the session last time, I was going to take some time over the week and at least get us through the evening and all the rain. So as you can see, it's a little cloudy, but clear. The moon is setting. There's some stars out, and we can see some brightness start in the sky to the east, or to the east, whichever way east is. East might be that way. Yeah, it's probably that way. Um, so we'll take a quick walk around Forest South, just to kind of get our bearings as soon as the sun brightens up the location. So, Wild Fox, hey, how are you? I also see Ember showed up a little early. Thank you both for popping in. Hope you guys are having a good week so far. Had a nice weekend. And are looking forward to some fun today. So let's talk a little bit about what's on the agenda today. I am going to tell you that if this is your first playthrough of Derail Valley, and you have the setup like what I do, or just the or the small. Oh shoot! Now I can't remember what the designation is. The DE2. If you only have the DE2, or you have the DE2 and the DE3, you don't want to do any shunting here in Forest South, in Forest Central, or in Sawmill. And I'll be candid and upfront with you. These three locations are kind of at the top of a hill. And when you get past the edge of the industry, the track descends quickly at all three locations. And trying to move a load like what we brought in and start to extend over that decline, you just don't have enough power with the DE2 alone, and it's very very challenging to get the speed of your DE2 right and the speed of your DM3 right. Even if you're using a remote control, you're going to get wheel slippage, uh, and you're going to burn out your motors. So my recommendation, if this is your first playthrough, is for these three industries, the Forest Central, Forest South, and Sawmill, just freight haul in, pick up another load, freight haul out. All right. But tonight, I'm going to show you some techniques to try and offset the difficulty and try and get your trains so that they don't travel too far over the edge of the hill. So we can kind of keep that wheel slip, keep you from damaging the traction motors on your locomotives and then just careening down the hill and crashing at the next Y. All right, so it's starting to brighten up here. Let's see, what time is it? Just after 6. And here we go. We have a new weather forecast, and we're looking at some good weather. A little rain around 6. All right, so this is Forest South. All right, the station office, it's a small building. It's kind of right in the middle of everything with your little tool shed on the side. There's some outbuildings here. There's one yard. I think it's just the B yard. This track here, furthest away from the office, is your loading and unloading track. There's a water tower here for steam locomotives. There's the station for loading and unloading, the cargo transfer station. This is just a tower, random tower here. I don't think that has anything to do with anything. What is this? Nothing? Oh, that just allows you to select the vehicle. Okay, and at the north end of... Is it the north end? We came in and went that way. So at the south end of Forest South, there's the A track, which I think is this one here. This is a spur. You're going to find a locomotive of some type here, whether in this case it's a DM3. It could be an SO60. It could be a DE2. It really doesn't. It varies. Also here, which you might need, is a round table. So you can use this to turn your locomotive around so you're facing the other direction, and then you can pull back out and back in and pick up another load and go back out facing south, or the southern track out of here. There may be a demonstrator unit here, and it'll either be here next to this little building, or it'll be down here around where these bushes are. These bushes in this tree, it'll be in this area probably. In this case, we don't have a demonstrator locomotive here, so we don't have to worry about that. All right, so so this is going to the north. All right, now we'll look at how much trackage you have. So this track here is your loading unloading. It's the L track. This is your incoming track, 2I. 3O, that's a outgoing track. 5O is an outgoing track. This is your main line through. If you're just going through, you'll just stay in this middle track. It doesn't have a number. And then there's 6 and 7, which are both storage tracks. Okay? So if you look down here, going north, you've got quite a bit of track here before she starts to fall off right about here. In fact, it starts to fall off like right here, right at the switch. All right, so if you want to pull forward, I mean, this isn't too bad, but if you want to pull forward and then back into this spot, you've got, let's say, 1 car length, 2 car lengths, 3 car lengths, 4 car lengths, 5 car lengths, maybe 6 car lengths from that switch or the speed limit marker, which should be like the end of the industry, to this switch to go out to the loading track. Hey, Wasted, how are you? Hey, how you doing live? Thanks for stopping in, folks. Good to see you. So we're reviewing Forest South as an industry. Okay, so coming down the other side, this would be the southern side. All right, here's the split. There is a bit of room, so I mean, you could make it, but this, you could see, drops off significantly quick. So from this point, I'm going to estimate 1 car, 2 cars, 3 cars, 4 cars, 5 cars. And then we're going up to here, 6 cars. All right, so you might have 7 cars. You might be able to get 7 cars in here before you need to. Oh, and yeah, you got a little bit more room. So you've got more room to the south than you do to the north. All right, so these are important things to look at. Takes your ticket and clicks it and punches it. Okay, you're validated now, Wasted. Thank you. Yeah, the O, I, and S is definitely a readability issue because when you come in and you're looking at it, you're like, oh, that must be track 30. No, it's track 3 outgoing. So outgoing loads will most likely be on this track, or this 5.0 track. So it's another way of figuring out your way around the yard. So there's a little bit more room to the south than to the north. So that's good to know. All right, so we've got a train here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars. All right. If you can keep your locomotives as high up on the track as you can, you're pulling less of these cars actually up the grade. So even if you get 1 car or 2 cars, you're only pulling 14,000 kilograms instead of 21,000 or 28,000 or there's 6, so that's 42,000. All right. So we will take a look at this. So we're going to back this load up and pull it into the loading track and unload it. So that'll be our first thing. Then we're going to take another job, which I think means picking up these cars here and do another shunting job. Well, I guess, how big is the other one? There's only 3 cars on this one. So we'll do the split for this job. All right, so what we need to do this shunting job, and when you're dropping off, it's a little easier because you're going to get the whole track ready before you drop anything off. But when you're loading, you want to make sure that you try and keep the cars in the same order, especially if you want to take that load with you, because otherwise they won't stack well when you go to shunt them at another location. It's weird. So we're going to do this shunting job. This is the job we brought in, and we're going to break this load up into 2 to help us avoid having to go too far over the hillside or over the hillside at all. And this is one method you can use to keep from having the issue. So what we're going to do is we're going to break our train 1, 2, 3 right here. So we're going to hit this, brake on. And we're going to turn those off. All right. We're just going to use the DE2. Let's get her started up. Oh, she's quiet. Oh, I wonder if my volume's down. How's that? Better? Oh, even I'm better. All right. I have to... I guess that one was off. I would like to get in the cab, please. I have a blinky light. Do I still have a blinky light? I still have a blinky light. No blinky light. Okay. All right, so we're going to pair this up and we're going to move forward. We're going to come all the way down here just to go as far as we need to. And we'll see where the train, where the locomotives at the front actually fall out. We're going to slow down. Because there's no need to rush. So I thought I had 6 cars of room to put 6 cars between here and the first split, the sign that gives me the speed limits for the... So we're going to add a little brake. Okay, more brake. Okay, so we are past this switch, and where are we in the front? Okay, so we could have probably put another 2 cars, taken another 2 cars, but we're still on the level. We look up in here, we are on the level. There's a little bit of an incline right here, but we're still on the level. All right, so we're going to back ourselves up. We're going to set the switch. And we're going to back ourselves up. Reverse, brake off. Another thing to remember when you're up at Forest Central, Forest South, or Sawmill is remember to apply throttle just a little bit before you take the brake off. That'll prevent any possible slippage that you may have. And you may have to take that train brake off slowly. in order for your locomotives to make enough uh, traction and speed. All right, so that's good. I'm going to slow that down because there's no sense going too far. Set a brake. So as you can see, we are kind of reversing the load. The cars that were in the front will now be in the back. And if this was a different, if we had to put these cars away, you know, this was a drop off, we still will need to put these cars away. They may not be in the order that we need them to be. In fact, we could take a look. Oops. We can take a look. They all go back to the same track, so it's not a big deal. But in some yards, you may need to put cars back in different locations. And when you mix these up, it messes. It makes it more difficult to put the cars away. Alright, so we're gonna head back out, pick up the rest of our... That's not to say that you can't put the cars back together the way they had them, but it just takes up more time, and that's what we don't want to do. Something else we may need to do, because I notice that this job wants us to put cars back on a track that I think the cars we need for the next shunting job are currently on. So we may want to dig those out before we start this job. Alright, we're going to ride back, hook up to the other cars. Is this efficient? No. Are we on the clock yet? No. So it doesn't matter. We can take all the time we want now to move things, and because we're not really on the clock until we turn this job in. And by the time we do that, we'll then take all the weight off of these, and they'll just be standard, whatever the weight of the car is, instead of the car plus the load. And that makes it a little easier to move around. Slow down more. All right. Take the brake off. Which one did we turn the brake on? Did we not have a brake on any of these? I thought I put a brake on this. Okay. Oh, hello there. Are we low on oil? Yep, that's okay. We'll be all right. We'll refresh our. We'll take care of that before we leave. Before we leave this area. that'll refuel our locomotives and re-oil, give us more oil and stuff like that. So nothing seizes up. Yeah, harbor in town has some weird, some high number trackage. The E-yard. I'm gonna hop off here. Slow down. There we go. All right, we can put that back in reverse. Let me hop on. Oh, won't let me. Come on. All right. Hop on. And throttle. Slowly take the brake off. We're going to head back. And then push this all back so that it's all on the loading track. No sense getting too crazy with speed. Get a little brake on. And we can start to slow down. Please, two. Okay. All right, and we're going to keep pushing. All right. So that is where that belongs. All right, and we said that we were concerned. Oh no, here's, oh no. Okay, so. All right, we need, to do the other shunting job, we need this car and these two cars. However, the job we're doing wants us to drop off those cars that we unload on this track. So, we are going to be smarter than the game. And this is something that pops up a lot, where you're like, oh, well, I'm going to do this job, and then I'll park it, and then I'll do this job, and then you get there, and you're like, what the heck? I just buried the cars that I need, and I don't want to have to pull those out. So this would be a difficult set to pull out. All right, so we need these two. And we need to put them on against this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to be smarter about this. I'm going to do some of the work before we actually take the job. And this car is moving. So we're going to put a couple brakes on. Attach. we're gonna make the other train that we need now before we go on the clock and are fussing with this, and it'll mean that we'll have less cars to move around. Trust me, this is going to make life a whole lot easier up here. But these are little bits of the puzzle that can get you in trouble if you're not careful. All right, so we're going to have to take this train over the hill, over the incline here. Let's see, how far do we need to take it? No, we need to go all the way because we need to go down this track here. Okay. This is going to be fun, but we'll see how this works because now we only have the two heavy locomotives we're dealing with, so it may be easier. We need to go a little further. Don't get crazy with it. We just need to get the DE2 past that switch. We'll see if it starts to build up speed on us, which it's not. Good. That's a good sign. That's a very good sign. All right. Apply some brake. Set the switch. Go in reverse. All right. So you can see we're moving. That is moving away from us. So we're going to provide some. See how we're creeping forward? Little by little. There we go. Jump on here. We're going to pick up the 2 and add it to the 1, and then we'll just park it there. So all our switches are good. Slow down a bit, or at least take the throttle off. What have I missed and what are we doing? Well, Ember, you've missed a lot of dissertation on the way these yards here, the yards that are at top of the hill, Forest Central, Forest South, and Sawmill, can be very tricky. And you have to address them. You have to be smart about how you handle the puzzles up here on these mountaintops. So we have moved the load that we brought in from harbor and town over onto the loading track. But then we've realized that to finish that job would require us to put all of those cars on the track we are currently on in the way of these 2 cars, which we need to take on the other shunting job that's up here at Forest South. So we're going to, before we start the other job, we're going to move these 2 cars out of the way and hook them up with the other car that would be in this train. So we're going to bip-bop between the 2 jobs before we even start them. Hey, Larry, how are ya? Thanks for popping in. This is Derail Valley, train simulator. We are currently in Forest South, doing some shunting jobs, kind of going over how to how you can manage these without getting yourself into too much trouble. So we're moving these two cars from this track, track 7S to track 6S, to make room for the cars that are on the far side of the yard that need to move into the track we're currently on. I'm going to start to apply some brake here. Very good. Hop on the back here. I have a handy remote control that I'm using to control our smaller switcher engine as we move things around. Hey, Cammy! Nice to see you. So once again, a little situational awareness goes a long way when you're playing this and other games, but just need to keep in mind where things go and where you need to get the next set of cars to put together your train for the next job. And we're going to put this one together, and we might take this and the other small one to Sawmill if we've got time yet in the evening. Where are we at? It is 7:30. That's all right. That's all right. A little more break. All right. Apply some brake here. Hop off. Set a brake. Plenty of clearance. And take it back to the end of the track again. Oh, are they? I had not heard. Is it something I can access off of their website? All right, so as I go past here, because I know I need to take my next load up that track, I'm going to set this switch so it's set straight to the back. Help myself out. Again, I need to get my train back to here. Brake. Let's just double check. That switch is all correct. All right. Hop in. Boop. See, we're still moving. Wrong way. Right way. All right. Okay, I'll have to check that out, Larry. All right, so we're going to couple with this, and then we will put this load away, finish this job. Look at me gaining speed. Brakes here, hold the train in place, and then, oops, stop it. Let's go turn in this order, get her unloaded. Too far. All right, so that's this one. All right, it wants to drop everything off at B7S, so we don't have to split anything. It doesn't matter how the cars are organized in this particular case, but in some cases and some jobs, you may have to split those cars over several yards. All right, we come over here to the cargo transfer, and we want to unload. There they all go. We have empty cars. All right. All right, so we know that that last car here needs to be back at that switch. So from the other side, we're just kind of wasting some time here. My engine needs to be here. All right, it's on the flat. I'll probably have some cars over the edge, but it makes a lot more sense to back down and keep my engines up here rather than pull forward and have my engines over the hillside. So we're going to do that. So we're in reverse. We want to be in reverse. Now we're going to take our time because we don't want to build up too much momentum once some of this weight goes over the hillside. But once again, it's addressing the yard in the best way possible for the locomotive power that you have. And you know, wheel slip is not your friend. And look, we're still building up speed, so this is already kind of on a downslope. It's not a lot, but I mean, we went from 11 to 12. I mean, waiting for us to get to 13. There it is. All right, so we need to get third switch. I'm going to put the brake on. Get some control over our speed. Hop off of the switch. train is just about at the switch that goes to the yard here. We're getting slower, so let's drop back a little bit. Let's not get rid of all our momentum. All right, so here we are. We are just behind the switch. There's the dog, so we're okay. Let's see how far back we are. So we know we have 6 cars, and I estimated 6 cars to that switch. And if we take our 2 engines into consideration, we're at what, 4 cars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I was off. We're like 6.5 to there. So we've got 1 car over the edge. That shouldn't be an issue at all for us. So we need to set this switch. We want to go straight. And then we're going to veer off to the right. And that's already set. And that's already set. All right. That'll put our locomotives actually at the right end for us as well. So let's hop aboard. All right, so again, we're going to leave our train brake on. We want to set our reverser to forward and apply a little throttle. Slowly take the brake off while we gain speed. You want to watch your speed. You want to be climbing speed as you start taking off. Brake. And we'll watch things from here. I'll go into model railroad mode. Okay, how do I get back? What am I not doing? All right, we're back. That didn't work. 12 kilometers an hour is plenty fast enough. So once we get these parked, we can turn it in. Then attach the locomotives, pick up the other 2, and put them in on the loading bin. We're in the last car. We just need to get as far as this sign to be in the trackage. Detach. One car behind us. Bloop. All right, let's see if that worked. Ta-da! Okay, we're going to turn that one in. Under time, of course. And we made ourselves almost eight grand. Throw that away. Get the money. Add it to our 299,000 in the wallet. Let's set another, because these things tend to move up here. Stay going forward. Yeah, you can drive your trains from anywhere. Past that first switch there. Get back in, grab these. And unfortunately, we're going to have to go over the hillside with this next load. But they'll be empty until we put stuff in them. So we'll have to go through the challenge here. I don't think we can get around it. So we need to get these cars on this far right-hand track. That is going to require us to get all the way past that third switch. Which means our locomotives are going to be over the hillside. So see how this works. This is what I recommend new players to the game don't do. But I want to show you how it's done. Doesn't mean you're going to get it right. Doesn't mean I'm going to get it right. But you want to control your speed so you don't go any further than you have to. Yeah, I can do that. In fact, that's what I showed initially on the first time through. but that doesn't always happen. I mean, I only have 3 cars and they don't have any weight on them other than themselves. So we're going to take this descent slowly, control it as best we can, so our cars don't go any further than they have to. See, we're already gaining speed, and I'm at 2 on the brakes. And I'm not slowing down. There we go. There we go. All right, so we're past the dogs. Gonna apply a little bit more brake because it's crazy. All right, so let's make sure our track is right. We go straight. We go all the way to the right and then straight onto the loading track. All right. All right, you don't want to go too far because otherwise you reset the, you reset the industry and what you've got in your hand is no longer valid. So back to the remote control. We need to go in reverse, get everything set up, throttle. Slowly start to let off. So you can see we're moving. You can see we're moving in the right direction. No wheel slippage, because that'd show up down. See, we're moving forward. There we go. See, now we're moving. So I'm going to leave that there until we get another kilometer per hour. All right, I'm going to take it off. So this is just the DE2, all right? And it's pulling the DM3. If I had the DM3 rolling, we'd probably be doing a little bit better here. There we go. All right, so I took a chance. I gave it a little bit more throttle. I was prepared for some wheel slip, but we didn't get any, so that's perfect. So these are empty cars with the DE2. 3 empty cars with the DE2, and you could see she was struggling on one bar. And we're not at 2, we're like 1.5 right now. If I flip this up, we get to 2. And we're still, well, we're up at the switch now, so we're on the flat. So for the next movement, we may need to engage the DM3 with 3 full cars on the back of here. But that's how you do it if you've got your locomotives over the hillside on the downhill. It's a little stressful. Good. It's exciting. That's what's stressful. It's exciting. I think we're on the loading track now, so we can apply some brakes. Too much brakes. And we'll go and turn this job in. Where does it want me to take the stuff? B50. That's this next track. How much room do I have? B50 has the big train on it here. Still not on the clock, so we're okay. I say, so B50 has some room up front. Oh, it has plenty of room up front. How much room does it have in the back? Oh, it's got plenty of room in the back too. All right, so we're going to play this one by dumping it back here. And that'll keep our locomotives. No, that's going to trap our locomotives. We can't do that. Okay. So we'll have to drive the locomotives over the hillside. I'm lost. I'm running around. I'm bouncing into stuff. All right. B7S, B6S. We already got that. We're there now, and we need to drop it off at B50. We just kind of went through that. All right, so back to the cargo transfer, and now we need to load logs. All right, so all right, let's get her started up. Are off. We're going to control our brakes with this, but with the remote control, but use the DM3 for a little extra oomph. So right now we're still working the DM2. All right, that's doing all the work right now. Bad thing is we're going to have to do this twice to get it back up against the other load we want to take to Forest, to Sawmill. What are we doing, 8 o'clock? Okay. We're okay. And B5. All right, we're going to take a chance. So now what I'm doing is I'm watching the ground move starting to get some movement in the right direction. There we go, see? We're going backwards now. But look at the grade. That's crazy. Moving backwards. There we go. See. All right, I blew out something. See a wheel slip. Uh-oh. You know what I didn't do? I didn't set the other switch. All right. Is this running? No, it's not. Oh, the reverser was also in. Okay, yeah, that was a failed attempt. We'll try this again. That in my hand before I jump out. Otherwise I have no control. And no control is bad. Let me try this again. So I blew out the traction motor on the DE2. It was doing nothing. All the work was being done by the DM3. So we're going to reset. Try this again. Take a breath. All right, there's that switch. All right, let's set that in reverse. And try this again. Reverse. In the right gear. Let's. Here we go. speed. Good, 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 good. Good job. Oh, look, it's raining. Wonderful. You don't want to do this in the rain either. That's always bad. Back on the right track, yes, and yes. And let's slow down a little bit. We are back up on the flat. Yep, there's the, take this out. And we just need to be past that sign. Let the DM2. The DM2 is doing all the work now. Still had a notch of brake on. Perfect. Brake on. We could turn this one in. See how foggy it got. It was supposed to rain. So there we go. All completed. Took us 11 minutes. We had 30 and we made 7,500 off of that one. So all in all, we made ourselves about $15,000 just doing the shunting, and that gets us over $300,000 in our bank. So must be 6 o'clock, isn't it? Yes, it's a little after. Actually, it's a little after 7. So here's this job, which is going to C3I, which is one we just put together. This is a logistics job to B1S at Sawmill. Put that there. And we were also looking at this one. And they both go to C3I. So we want to take these two because why not? We just take them to the same yard, the same track. Yep. And so this one will be closest to the engine because it's against the engine now. So we'll add that one. And then this will be the one following. So it's just, yeah. Okay. And that one is on B30. We know where that one is. So we are ready to go as soon as it stops raining. So any questions? That's kind of how dicey working these hilltop industries are. Oh, we can so we're gonna let this clear off. That'll be 9 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock now. So let's get rid of our fees. Pay, and we'll just pay. Oh, yep. We will pay and hit the confirm. All right, so now our locomotives are all fueled up. They've got oil. Any repairs have been made, and let's see. I did have some wear and tear and vehicle damage from that. Let's see, the DM3. This is all the work. This is all the work that had to be done on the DM3. And we had to pay a little for emissions. But all we had to pay was 8,000 of like the 20 some thousand that we were in arrears for. Oop, I missed. All right, so we're going to take. Is it still raining? It's not. So I'm going to take these three and hook them up to these. So how far down the track? We need to go all the way back to where we were and do this all over again. Down to this side. And our train's down. The rest of our train is down there. And then we can head off this way. And if I am correct, yeah, south is, so we are headed north, which is no big deal. We could figure out our route right now. I'll get in front of our headlights here. All right, so we are here at Forest South. We need to go to Sawmill. All right, so we're headed this way, so we're going to continue that way. We want to stay to the left. We want to go to the left. We want to make this turn and head this way. Yes. Yeah. And then we want to make a left here, go through Farm, go through Oil Well Central. We're going to stay right there. And we're going to make a left here and go up to Sawmill. So we need to look at Farm. Because we'll be coming through here. We want to make a left at this switch. We want to stay right and go right through here. This is their loading track. There's usually no locomotives there. And then these will go straight through. And Oil Well Central. And we want to come through here, go to the right, go through the loading track, and straight on through. And then when we get to Sawmill, we want to go, we'll be coming in from the north. So we'll be heading south. We want to go left, then we want to go right and into the C yard, and we need to drop these off at C3I, which is right here. So we're going to go left and then right. Take us right into the track. So our route is good. We just need this rain to kind of let up so that we can finish our load and head to Sawmill. Okay. Now when we did when we paid our fees, they turned off our engines so they could be refueled, and the brakes should also be on. So it gets things started back up. And even the brake switch is set. Yeah, we thought we had wheel slip on dry tracks. Wheel slip is a real big problem when you've got wet tracks. So there's no real rush. Let's wait for better weather to hit us and the track to dry out before we make this move. So these are little station buildings. This one's very small, a little square. This is where the career manager and the order validators are. Your new jobs are here. map of Derail Valley. A little thumbtack as to where we are. And this is the commerce kind of grid. Basically tells you that things from Forest Central and Forest South, all items go to Sawmill. So all freight items go to Sawmill. From Sawmill, all their products go to Goods Factory. And then from Goods Factory, things go all over the place. Logistic jobs can go anywhere, but actual goods produced go to certain places. So if you're looking for a job to go to one place or the other, you can look at this map, figure out where you're at, where you need to go to get jobs to go to that location. This is steel mill, goods factory, machine factory. These are the cities, I think. Food factory, farm, oil well north, oil well central, harbor, coal mine, and iron ore east and iron mine west. Coal power plant should be out here too somewhere. It's not on there. Hi guys. Hi no, Alabal. Are you feeling better? Hi Ripley. The dogs just showed up. Alright, it's a little after 9. Is it raining still? Oh no, the star's out. Good. Alright, let's make this move. It's dark up here, by the way. Very dark. I bet you there's still a brake on. That'll take care of that. Things will move better now. 2. All right. That is Sagittarius above us there. Right there. Constellations are actually right in this game. It's one of the things that one of the things that really tickled me. So once again, we don't want to get crazy here. Hi, bud. I think I ran over a dog. Just make sure our switches are right. I just flipped that one. We're going straight. We're going to the right. And then a quick to the left. Okay. Alright, let's do this backwards. Excellent. Good job. Good job. All right. Past the first switch here. Jump over the wall. There's the switch. Okay. Do all the rest of the work with the team. Me too. On the right track. Ha ha ha. Just need to see, and we got enough of the headlights moving forward to give us enough light to see by here. Night ops in especially these hilltop industries are very dark. Okay, we're good here. Drop off the speed. Start to apply some brake. Much brake. More brake. Oof, that was a little hard. All right. Good enough. Transfer control to brakes brake. We cannot leave yet. We have to actually turn in these orders. Almost left, and almost left without turning in the orders. That's not good. Okay. All right, so there's the first. That's what's up against the locomotives. Drop them off at C3I. Here's the second. That's the ones in the back. Those get dropped off at C3I. All right, so both of them are turned in. Because I'm a goofball, I like to have my end of train indicator. So we're going to do all our driving from the E and we're ready to go. Brakes off. The route is set. We could get the DM2 involved, but we're going to go downhill. So we'll just use the DM3 and its engine brake as much as we can. right, so this stream may run a little long, because at this point I'm not going to stop until I get to Sawmill and get this train parked. But you guys can drop in and out as you need. I post these, I repost these to my YouTube channel on Fridays at noon. So if you miss something, I usually let folks know that it's out there. So the DM3 has a standard transmission. So I have to downshift, upshift, shift gears. Brake on. Keep an eye out for what the speeds are. Our way. Yeah. I think I have 8 gears. Game time. Trying to keep the speed under control. We are still on the downgrade. I got a lot of weight behind me. I don't want to get, this is now going to drop to 70. That's what that red arrow below the 8 is. Instead, the next speed sign is going to be too lower, so it's going to be at 60. Coming up on the exchange. Y. It's fine, that's where we want to be. Be a little longer, but it'll be an easier trip. love. I got a 50 at this turn. And below that. Along with now. To the right would have taken us to the steel mill. To the left here, go across the bridge and go through farm and oil well central. Off. A slight downgrade. Coast. Taking the track to the right, that would take us to Forest Central. That's a very steep route up there in that direction. And that right-hand track would have taken us into the bean yard at I take it back. Yeah, that track would have taken us into the bean yard at farm. We need to come back here and check this out. Look for derelict locomotives that we can restore. Familiar with this, remember this route from December when we did derails and fiery crashes. You can go back and check that out on YouTube. Very interactive. The whole game is very interactive, and it's made to also be played in virtual reality with a set of goggles on. I've done that. It's crazy. Very immersive. And here we are coming into the next industry. This is Oil Well Central. A lot quieter. It's a great game if you don't have it. Very kind of it's relaxing, but it's, you know, every job is a new puzzle. Every set of jobs is a new puzzle. Shunting jobs are all puzzles. Slow us down because I think that next turn is like 30. That'll have the map up. But so far we're right there on the map where the little blue dot is. We need to go to the next Y nearest CW. The grade is going up a little bit, slowing us down. That's right, that's correct. Speed limit straight through is 30. We are slowing down. We're well within, you just don't need to hit this at 40 and you won't derail. Give it a little more throttle. You don't want to go too fast because I think it's 30 on the turn off to the left to go up to Sawmill. So this is kind of the long way around. This is the tracks we would take to go to City West and power plant and to machine factory. Beyond that is iron ore mine west. Iron ore mine west. Voila. This is a switch setter. It alerts you as to which way the switch is set ahead of you, and it allows you with this button here to switch it on the fly. And I know we need to go to the left. That's telling me that the switch is going to go to the left is set. And we are at 32. I think we're okay. I usually take this direction, and we can hit this at 30. Perfect. We are very good. Yep. That will give us ourselves a little bit more throttle, because most of the trip now is going to be uphill. I want to downshift. This loco should be able to handle this whole ride. Should be no issue. Temperature's good. RPMs are good. Doing better on speed. Get the DM3, the DE2 operating. All right, this turns 30. That's okay. We're nowhere near that. Nowhere near where we need to be concerned, I should say. Everybody still with me? Nope, I ran away. I see that. We need to do better. Nice climb up the hillside. I don't think we can see anything out the side here. So when we leave Sawmill, we'll probably have to use the turntable up there to turn our locomotives around so we can come back down this way, because that's how to get to goods factory. Unless we find something to take somewhere else. We'll see what comes up. So it's nice to be able to take 2 jobs. We have the license for concurrent orders 1, which allows us to take 2 jobs, up to 2 jobs. We could have taken that long one and a second job and made it even more lucrative, but I was a little concerned that the weight of the larger job was too much for the 2 engines that I'm working with right now. Now for the new players of the game, once you unlock the DH4, dealing with shunting on these Hilltop industries is a lot easier. But while you have the DM3 and the DE2, you're going to struggle. It's a tightrope walk. Where are we at? About halfway there. Halfway up this slope. Thank you, everyone, for sticking with me. My analytics for Twitch are going to be like off the charts tonight. I got a couple new folks, and I'm glad to have you along. I hope you'll come out again when you're able. that tells me we are almost to the top of the hill here. Pulling in about 4 a.m. Not as picturesque at night. We're making it. This turn should be the last turn coming into Sawmill. Yep. Going to the right there takes us to the turntable. Then we want to go to the right, straight into the sea yard. First left, and then a right. Keep pulling until we know our last cars should be up and behind us. And the track is clear. Thank goodness. Good. Time to apply some brake. Engine brake on. Turn her off. Turn her off. This out and just put her in there so she charges. And welcome to Sawmill. We've been here before. I have to find there it is. The office. All right, and here we are. Let's turn in our orders. Uh-oh. Didn't like that. Oh. Oops. I know what I did. I didn't set a brake. Bad me. Now we're good. Actually, we'll set a brake on both. Just to cover us. And we'll try this again. Right at the back of the door. How about now? Yes. Oh, look, we're under time. And 7. And we made almost 9. All right. So here we are with 314 grand. We had to blow 8,000 on the fees and stuff. But hey, we started about 24 hours ago based on the game clock, and we did 2 shunting jobs and took a freight haul the long way from Forest South to Sawmill. So that's where we're going to end the game here. We'll pick it up again next week. I have to take a look. I might have planning commission next week, and I won't be streaming. But we'll pick things up next week. So I didn't get any good shots of my little locomotive. So we'll try and get one there. Okay, and that's where we'll leave off. So thank you very much to Wild, to Ember, Live, Cameron, and Commander Kitsune, as well as Wasted, for joining me tonight in the chat. I hope you all had a good time.